What's up, comic fam? Welcome to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys this big, huge stack of comics that I picked up this past week. And one of my favorite things to do in this hobby is go out and hunt for books. Try to find cool keys for a cheap price, or just books that I'm looking for, books that I want to read or add to my personal collection. And in doing that, every now and then we strike gold. Every now and then we have those days we find something fantastic, or multiple items that are, multiple books that are fantastic. And that's what we do it for. That's what I do it for. I live for days like that, days when I can come home with some amazing keys for a really good deal, or just an awesome addition to my personal collection. And that's what this video is about. I went to a new shop that had opened here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's not a comic shop, it's a resale shop. They buy, sell, trade pretty much anything you can think of as far as multimedia, movies, music, anything. But when I went in there to actually look for toys and just kind of look around, see what all they had, because I'm a toy collector as well. I collect Marvel Legends. But I got in there, got to talking to the guy at the front counter, and he asked me what I was into, and I told him comics. I'm always looking for comics. I love toys, but my passion is comics. And he was like, okay, well, we have a lot of comics. So he guided me back to the back of the store where there were a bunch of bins, and didn't think much of it, because usually a lot of places have comics, but then you get to them and you start going through them. And it kind of even looked like it. It looked like a Second and Charles scenario, where you're going to get up to the bins, start going through them. And it's more or less a lot of quarter books. You may find some small keys or something good once in a blue moon. But really, it's just a bunch of filler issues and stuff like that, or Valiant, things like that. But I got up to these bins and start digging through the first bin, and I found a few small keys, some good things, but nothing to go crazy about. And then I get to the second bin and find an amazing key. And then in this very same bin, I find another amazing key by the same artist. So I'm like, okay, there's some good stuff in these bins. I found so much good stuff this first day that I ended up going back the very next day and getting more books. What they do, they have a deal. All the comic books at this shop are $2.99. They're all priced $2.99, no matter what they are. I don't know how they buy them, or I was told they come from a warehouse, but they didn't give me specifics, and I don't know what they do, but they have all these amazing books, and they're only priced at $2.99. If you buy 10 books or more, you get $10 off of your total. What I did the first day was I bought 20 books. They'll stack that deal. So I ended up getting $20 off of my first day's total. I ended up getting 20 books. It was $46 after the $20 deduction. Then the next day I went back and I got another 13 books and got the $10 deal. So I spent another 20 something dollars that day, and between $60 and $70 total for this huge stack of books. And without further ado, we'll just go ahead and start looking through them, because yeah, this is the reason I do this. This is the reason I love going out on the hunt. This is the reason why every single Tuesday and Saturday that I have off of work, if I'm not obligated to doing anything else, this is what I do. I go out looking for comics, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But let's check out some comics. Let me stop talking about them and show some. Got this awesome one-shot, issue 1, the Hit Monkey one-shot. This is his first appearance. And not only was this book optioned, but this is actually one of the few books that you hear about being optioned that actually came to fruition. This is a TV series on Hulu. So if you've never checked it out, you can find this series on Hulu. This is an awesome character, and from what I hear it's a cool series. So I'm going to go check that out. But this is Hit Monkey's first appearance, and I was so stoked to find this. As well as there's a 3-issue miniseries of Hit Monkey that was pretty short printed. For example, this is the first issue of that miniseries. Super glad to find this. For a first issue, there were only 14,000 of this printed. So for a first issue, that is very small. So super happy to find this for issue 2, which I did see it in the bin, but I put it down and I never could re-find it. So I'm going to go back. Hopefully I can go back and find issue 2, because that ended up being the only one that I needed. Because here is issue 3. Let me try to show you guys without the glare. There's issue 3. And for example, on this one, the print run was 8,000. So this was the last issue 3, the last issue of the 3-issue miniseries, and it was 8,000. So you're not going to see these out a lot. If you do, grab it. Definitely grab it. These are worth money, only because you just don't see them a lot, especially for a modern book that you don't see a lot. Definitely grab it if you see it. An older key, Shogun Warriors. This is the first team appearance of the Shogun Warriors, and really cool book. It's a newsstand too. This next book is really unique. I was actually looking for another title that was very similar to this one and stumbled upon this series by the name of Anything Goes. I looked it up on Key Collector and it showed this amazing Ninja Turtles cover for issue 5 and a Stan Sakai cover for issue 6. This is a series from 1986. So I start looking through it and I actually was able to find issue 5, which is really cool. It has this really cool old school Ninja Turtles cover. You can tell it's an older Ninja Turtles cover because they're all wearing the red bandanas. So that is awesome. I was super glad to find this. This contains a 5-page story featuring the Ninja Turtles. And this is Eastman and Laird, of course. And I also was able to find issue 6. And this does not have a story inside featuring these characters. But this is just considered a key for Sakai collectors because it's an early, just an early cover. But issue 6, Anything Goes. If you see these, definitely grab them. Those are really cool books that I'm super glad to add to my collection. Another one, this is early Image Comics. Ant existed, there was a run that existed on a smaller imprint originally, but this is the very first issue of Ant after it got moved to Image. So this is a key for that reason and worth a little bit of good, pretty decent chunk of change for a modern Image comic. But really cool cover. These kind of have some risque covers too. So pretty cool cover. Speaking of risque, we have a Torchy from Innovation. This series called Torchy has all these good girl covers. And this is not a key or anything, but just something that I'm glad to add to my collection because I appreciate these type of covers. And this says it is a Olivia cover from 1986. I remember seeing that artist in Playboy magazine. So you may remember seeing this artist from Playboy magazine as well. That's just a cool cover to add to my collection. This, man, is this a blast from the past. I love my 2099 stuff. And I never had a copy of this, ever. So now I do. We got a Hulk 2099 issue 1 newsstand in very good condition. So just really glad to add this to my personal collection. That one was awesome. Check it out. Just really good condition. With these, they get ticked up. You find them and they're just in horrible condition a lot of times. But this one's not. So amazing. Glad to add that to the collection. The next two are anytime that I find a comic book with Stan Lee on the cover, definitely picking it up. I found this one over here. Let me try to pull it down without messing stuff up. I found this one over here on a hunt a couple months back. And it's just a key because it's a cool Stan Lee cover. Well, there are other Stan Lee covers out there, of course. And I found 2 more. This is the No Prize, the official Marvel No Prize book. And it's got your boy Stan Lee in a Doctor Doom costume. It's upside down there, but flip it over and you can check it out. But yeah, anytime I'm seeing Stan Lee on a cover, definitely picking it up. And not only is Stan Lee on this cover, but you got a bunch of legends on this cover. This is the Marvel Funfetti book. And this one features Stan Lee, Shooter, Byrne, Simonson, Claremont, O'Neill, Smith, Cockrum, Milgram, Mantlo. Just a ton of legends on that cover. it's a fun book. I'm glad I found that one. Next up, I'm a huge fan of Spider-Boy, and when Spider-Boy first came out, there was a lot of heat around the Amalgam Spider-Boy for some reason. Didn't have it in my collection, but I do now. Super glad to have it. As soon as they had the whole run, every Amalgam book you could think of, they had there. I regret not picking up Lobo the Duck, but I'm going to go back, and if it's still there, I will grab Lobo the Duck. However, I did pick this one up. I've got a lot of amalgams. I just didn't have that one or this one or the next one I'm going to show you. Went ahead and picked this one up. This is the only other Spider-Boy amalgam, and this is a team up. So I've got both of the Spider-Boy amalgam books now. So glad to have those in my collection to add to my Spider-Boy collection. This is a Marvel first appearance of a character that I'm really just a big fan of. This is the first appearance. Well, first off, it's Defenders issue 112. You got a cool cover there. But this is the first appearance of Power Princess of the Squadron Supreme. And a few other characters, a few other smaller characters. But I really like Power Princess. And awesome first appearance. So glad to add that to the collection. We were talking about earlier with the book I was showing about being optioned. And this is another one that's been optioned. This one has not been turned into anything yet. We just got the news recently on this one. This one was on Hot Lists a couple months back, I think. But this is Evangeline issue 1. And hopefully they end up doing a series out of this. But this is a pretty foil cover. And I couldn't pass that up. Next up, we have another Marvel key. This is Arthur Adams doing Longshot issue 1. And this is the first appearance of Longshot as well as Spiral. So super happy to add this one for many reasons. Moving on, we got issue 4 of The Vision and Scarlet Witch. And when I picked this up, I thought that this was the first appearance of their twins. But it turns out that's the next issue. This is a first appearance, and I can't think of the first appearance off the top of my head. I'll throw it up here for you guys. But this is a small key. It wasn't what I thought it was, though. Maybe I should have looked that up beforehand. Still probably would have grabbed that anyway. Next up, this isn't a key or anything. I just had never seen this before. It was in good shape. Thought the character looked cool. And it's a Marvel comic. And it's issue 1. So American Dream issue 1. You got a female Captain America. And I just thought that that was a really cool cover. And added to my PC. Not really worth anything. But here's one featuring a female in red, white, and blue that is worth something. And this is Stars and Stripe issue 1. And they actually had issue 0, and I'm kicking myself for not grabbing that. I thought issue 1 was the first appearance of Star Spangled Kid. This actually contains her origin story, but issue 0 was the first appearance. So I don't know. When I saw issue 0, I don't know why I wouldn't have put that together to grab that. That would have been the first appearance. But I don't know. I was just finding so much books so many good things that I was shaking, I was sweating, and it was one of those times. So really glad to have this anyways. The origin of Star Spangled Kid. This is straight out of my childhood. And another option series, we've got, they're bringing Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers back from what I hear. But this is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers issue 1. And I would have added this to my collection whether they were making a show or not. This was one of my favorite after-school cartoons. And so glad to have this one in my collection. They had several more Chip 'n Dale issues there. So I may scoop up a couple more when I go back. This was just a cool grab. Not really worth anything, but just an awesome 90s cover. The original Ghost Rider, issue 1. We got some Penance keys. This is the first appearance and cover, I think, for Penance. And then, or no, hold on. This is the first appearance and cover of Penance in Generation X, issue 2. But then the story reveals a real Penance later on, and you get the real first full appearance of Penance in this issue, issue 40. I don't know. I haven't read this run yet, so I don't understand that. I've read Age of Apocalypse. I've read the Blink miniseries. I've read a bunch of stuff leading up to this, but I haven't got there yet. This is an awesome first appearance that I'm super happy to add to the collection. I love the regular She-Hulk, This is the first appearance of Red She-Hulk, and first cover as well. Her first full appearance of Red She-Hulk and first cover. That is awesome. Just a really cool cover. Super glad to have that one. This is an awesome book. This has some key factor to it other than just being classic artwork and an amazing crossover featuring the Uncanny X-Men and the Teen Titans. Really cool cover, classic artwork, classic story, but this is the first appearance of the Source Wall. So that's got a little key factor to it. This isn't really worth much, just an amazing Adam Hughes cover for X-Men Classic. I just thought that was a beautiful cover, couldn't pass that up. I think I actually paid $0.25 for that book. This is X-Men 112, and just another classic cover. Next up, we have a J. Scott Campbell book that I have always wanted to have in the collection. This one's worth a little bit of money. It's a Hero Initiative benefit book. J. Scott Campbell and IDW got together and did this for some sort of charity. I can't remember what. If you know, let me know in the comments. This is a beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover. I'm so glad to have that. I'd never seen this book before, ever, but I thought that it was a cool... it looked like a Dave Stevens cover to me, but it's not. This is actually Michael Thibodeau. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thibodeau in 1988. This is for the last of the Viking heroes, and it just kind of reminded me of Dave Stevens, so I grabbed it. And speaking of Dave Stevens, I got the man right here. I was plucking Dave Stevens out of these bins and just started shaking. I'm sweating, freaking out. Could not believe it, because the only Dave Stevens I had in my collection was the Rocketeer, and I found some really good stuff. But let me show you guys. I got this King Kong right here. I've always seen this one and really wanted to have it, but never had it. I found this one, and all these I paid $1.99 for. We got Three-Dimensional Seduction of the Innocent. Awesome cover there. We got Jonny Quest issue 5. And I'm going to go back and check, because I'm pretty sure they had the whole run of Jonny Quest. And there was another Dave Stevens cover. This was the better one, but I think there's another Dave Stevens cover on this run. So I'm going to go back and look. But that is awesome. Jonny Quest. We got possibly my favorite out of all of them that I found. This is Jungle Comics issue 1. Check that cover out. Actually use that in the thumbnail art. It's just a stunning cover. And you've probably seen these on Hot 10 lists lately. Dave Stevens is real popular right now, so now's the time to be finding his stuff on the cheap. Alien Worlds issue 2. Aurora. Beautiful book. And last but not least, we have Alien Worlds issue 4. Another one that's been on Hot 10 lists recently. And another Dave Stevens. Those last 6 that you saw were all Dave Stevens covers. But I found all those books I just showed you all came out of the same bins within a 2-day span. Most of them came out in 1 day, but 13 of them came out day 2. This place was amazing. I'm definitely going to go back. I'll probably hit them back again tomorrow. And I decided I would do this in place of showing you guys my new comic book haul, because I thought this would be a lot more interesting. You guys would much rather see these. So I appreciate any of you that tuned in to watch the video. I really appreciate the support. I'll be coming back at you with a new video real soon. We got Comic Book Addicts this Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope you guys can tune in for that. But until then, hope you guys have a great day. Peace.